To the second legs we go now over in the Champions League qualifiers with some clubs already on the brink of elimination, with some clubs edging closer to the next round. Who of course will go through, who will go home. We'll get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at the Champions League second legs, of course, in the qualifying stages. Early doors here in July. Who will go home? Who will go through? We'll get into it in just 1 second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe, your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, World Cup, Club World Cup, whatever it is. We got Champions League business all here under one roof. Is that right? Will your club go through? Will they go home? Or if you're just here for some giggles, well, we'll take a look at all of that in more in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But of course, we're going to get going now, reviewing the previous round of matches before we get into the serious stuff, which is the second legs. Hey folks, here we go with a recap of those first legs, which are just placed this past week. And of course, it's quick and fast right here, right now. No mess for the wicked. Kick it all off with Cups victory. One of the winners over FC Milsami. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Malmö picking up a cheeky 3-1 away win over FC Iberia. I went with a 2-0 win myself. FC Norway with a strong 1-0 winners over FCS Budućnost to give themselves an upper hand in that first leg. Meanwhile, Levadia did lose to FK RFS, of course, on the road there. Big win for them. Olimpija Žalgiris can only draw against FK Kairat, make it a very spicy second leg on that one. Meanwhile, the New Saints also pick up a draw against KF Shkëndija 79, and Drita Gjilan with a 1-0 win over Differdange out of Luxembourg. Second row here, we got Víkingur with a loss against Lincoln Red Imps. Of course, that's going to be a chance now for the Gibraltar side to get through to the next round. Meanwhile, Egnatia Rrogozhine with a 1-0 win over Breiðablik. I went the other way. Meanwhile, Víkingur did lose to Zrinjski Mostar 2-0. Žalgiris picking up a 2-0 win over Hamrun Spartans. I'm with a 3-1. FC Budućnost 3-1 winners over Interclub de Alsace. Ludogorets with a win over Dynamo Minsk, and Shelbourne did beat Linfield in the Irish derby. That's right, goodness gracious me. So that is those first legs. So those are the first legs. We are now looking at the second legs, and they're going to be on the screen right about now. That's right. So sit tight, hold on, and let's get cracking for the next round. We're going to start with, where are we going to start with? Milsami taking on Cups. That's right. Cups, of course, coming out of Finland. Milsami coming out of Moldova. That's right. Cups with a slender 1-0 lead on this one. Of course, we'll hope to extend that. We don't have any odds on this one, so we have to go with our gut. Of course, Milsami coming into this, the CSR Ohio Stadium. Igor Pikachu, the coach there, 42% form for them right now, up against Cups under Jaakko Viss, the legend out of Finland, unbeaten the last 5 now. They've played each other 3 times, 2 wins for Cups, nothing for Milsami. There's been 1 draw. That 1 draw was in Finland way back in July 2022. The last time they played at this venue was a 4-1 win for Cups way back when. Goodness gracious me. I've gone with the 1-1 draw on this one, which again does look like Cups will go through with that slender first leg victory there. Meanwhile, Malmö taking on Iberia in the second leg over in Gothenburg, or was it Malmö, wherever it is. Elder Stadion, of course, Henrik Rydström, unbeaten the last 4 now, 2 wins, 2 draws over the last set of matches, up against Iberia under Lavan Kokaci. Of course, Malmö are, of course, from Sweden. Iberia coming at you out of Georgia. 3 defeats on the spin for them. Now, these two sides, of course, the reverse fixture, a 3-1 win for Malmö. This match taking place in Sweden. You would have fancied the Swedish outfit to get the victory. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for them as well on the night. And again, that should secure their passage through to the next stages. Let's go to Budućnost up against FC Noah. That's right. Where is this game on my old agenda here? There is Noah Yerevan. That's right. Budućnost, the hosts, of course, at the Gradski Stadion, managed by Nadvad Ladatovic. Back-to-back defeats for them. Up against Noah, who are coming at you out of Armenia. That's right, managed by Sandro Perkovic, of course. Just 1 defeat in the last 6 for these guys. But against Budućnost coming out of Montenegro. I've got the upper hand, but the upper hand in regards to the venue. Noah, of course, the upper hand with that slender 1-0 lead on this one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Unfortunately, we could see the end for Budućnost, for Noah on this one. Budućnost getting the W, and it looks like that might be just enough to get them over the line and into the second round of qualifying. Let's get into the next one, which is FK RFS. That is right, up against Levadia Tallinn, of course. This match taking place over the NRK Sports Park. RFS managed by Victor Morios. 5 wins on the spin for them right now. 83% form for them. Up against Levadia Tallinn, managed by Toros Kudo, the Spaniard, just one defeat in the last 6 for them, both on 83% form, but Tallinn did lose that last match. Of course, when they hosted this game, this one. Of course, Levadia coming at you out of Estonia against RFS coming at you out of Latvia. I think I'm going to go with a home win here. 2-1 winners to add to that first leg, which should see RFS go through to the next round of qualifying. FK Kairat, they're taking on Olimpija Ljubljana. I've got a bit of work to do over in that second leg. It's at the Central Stadium. Kairat managed by Rafael Uzbanatin, the Russian, unbeaten in the last 6. Up against Olimpija Ljubljana, also unbeaten in the last 6, managed by George Simao. That's right. Of course, Ljubljana coming out of Slovenia. Kairat coming out of Kazakhstan. First leg ended all square. What will happen in this one? This could get dragged into penalties on this one, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. Ljubljana got to win this game. They're one of the bigger boys at this stage. I do think they'll squeak it in the end. Let's go to Shkëndija up against the New Saints at Tosi Proski National Arena. Shkëndija Tatovo, managed by Jerick Bekenji, coming into this on the back of 3 matches without a win. Up against the New Saints under Craig Harrison, unbeaten in the last 6 matches. Now, this match, of course, taking place over in Macedonia, with, of course, the Welsh outfit, the New Saints, hoping to cause an upset. They've got a 0-0 in that first leg. They've played each other 3 times already, previously a win apiece. But the last time they played at this very venue, Shkëndija Tatovo coming out on top with a 5-0 win. They'll look to do a lightning striking twice on this one, but I'm going to go with just a 2-0 win. KF Shkëndija going through, the New Saints tumbling down. That's right. Differdange out of Luxembourg up against Drita Gjilan. That's right. Differdange need to get themselves back into contention on this one after a 1-0 loss to Drita, coming out of Kosovo. Again, all these matches taking place on the 15th of July. This one at the Stadio Municipal Differdange over in Luxembourg. Managed by Pedro Silva, just one defeat in the last 4. Up against Drita, who've just lost once also in the last 6. Heading into this one, the previous leg, of course, going in favour with Drita. This one, I've got to give it to Differdange at home, surely. 2-0 winners have enough in the tank to squeak into the second round. According to my knowledge and my mathematics, this is what we're going to expect here. Cups going through, joined by Malmö and Budućnost. KF RFS will go through. Ljubljana will also go through as well. Shkëndija and Differdange with the aggregate scorelines combined with these ones. Let's move on to the second batch of games here, starting with Gibraltar's very own Lincoln Red Imps coming at you up against Víkingur. This match taking place at the Europa Sports Park. Lincoln Red Imps managed by Spaniard Juan Baziras. 6 wins on the spin for them right now up against Víkingur, managed by Johan Peter Poulsen, who is Faroe Island descent. Back-to-back defeats for them. Of course, the Gibraltans will fancy their chances on this one with a 3-2 win in the first leg over in the Faroe Islands. So they've got the away win. They just need to keep it tight at the back. A draw or more will see them victorious in this one. I'm going to go with that draw, 1-1. I think they'll kind of keep it tight at the back and hope for a sort of subdued affair from Víkingur. Meanwhile, Breiðablik out of Iceland coming up against Egnatia Rrogozhine. That's right, at the Kópavogur Völsur over in Iceland, managed by Haldur Arnason. The Icelanders just one defeat in the last 6 up against Egnatia Rrogozhine, managed by Albanian Idir Tatovo on the back of 4 successive wins. That's right. Breiðablik, of course, from Iceland up against Albanians Egnatia. 1-0 win for the Albanians in the first leg. They'll look to kind of add to that, but I think the Icelanders will have too much to have in the tank in this home match. I think a bigger victory was needed in that first leg to see the Albanians go through. Next up, we go Zrinjski Mostar. They're taking on Virtus. That's right, Virtus coming out of San Marino. Zrinjski Mostar out of Bosnia. They got the 2-0 upper hand victory in the first leg in San Marino. I'll expect them to put some goals in this one as well. The Breiðablik Stadium over in Bosnia, that's right, with managed by Mario Ivakovic, the Croatian. Just 1 win the last 3. They're up against Virtus, managed by Italian Luigi Bretizzo. Just the 1 win, 2-0 win as it was in the first leg. They'll get more goals here. Actually, yeah, just a 2-1. Wow. Surprise, surprise. Meanwhile, we go to Malta. I think Hamrun Spartans taking on Žalgiris, coming out to Lithuania. 2-0 win for the first leg for FK Žalgiris. They'll be looking to add to that tally this time, but they're going to be in the away team dugout for this match. Hamrun Spartans Where are you on the old pecking order here? There they are, of course. Also on the 15th of July, Spartans managed by Italian Giacomo Modica. Back-to-back defeats for them up against Rrogozhine, managed by Vladimir Cherubin at the Centenary Stadium this match. Of course, with the away side. 3 wins on the spin, including that 2-0 win last time around in that first leg. They should win this one as well. But I've gone with a 1-1 draw, point apiece, not point apiece, goal apiece, ultimately. But it still ends up with one result. We're seeing Žalgiris go through. Meanwhile, Interclub Escaldes taking on Shkëndija Bucharest. This match, of course, 3-1 win in the first leg for the ex-European champions. This match, though, of course, going to go over into Andorra for this second leg. Shkëndija Bucharest will still fancy their chances. They played each other just the one time. Of course, Escaldes managed by Felipe Ortiz, the Spaniard, just one defeat in the last 6. Up against FCSB, managed by Elias Chamavalos, who are unbeaten in the last 14 matches, including the reverse leg when these two sides played. They'll win this one again, gone with another 3-1 win, which will add to the first 3-1 win, and I'll see them go through 6-2 on aggregate. Meanwhile, Dynamo Minsk, they're up in action. They're taking on Ludogorets Razgrad. Bit of a ding-dong classic, this one. Dynamo Minsk up against from Belarus, up against Ludogorets Razgrad from Bulgaria. 1-0 win to Ludogorets from that first leg. This match, of course, taking place, though, over in Belarus. Yeah, which way will this one go? This actually coming around on the 16th of July. These final 2 games taking place on the match. The Madovsky Yavarski Stadion, Minsk managed by Vadim Shkëndija. Just 1 win in the last 4 for them, though. Up against Ludogorets Razgrad, managed by Rui Mota. Just 1 win in the last 6. They played each other 3 times since 2024. 1 win for Minsk, 2 wins for Ludogorets, no draws. The last time they played at this very venue, Dynamo Minsk came out on top with a 1-0 win. And if that was the case, would be going in extra time and maybe in penalties for this one. So which way are we going to go? I think I'm going to back the draw here, which of course will be enough for Ludogorets Razgrad. And again, we'll confirm that in just 1 second. And finally, Linfield taking on Shelbourne in the Irish battle here. Windsor Park, Linfield managed by David Healy. Just 1 win the last 5 up against Shelbourne, managed by Joseph O'Brien. Unbeaten now the last 4. Of course, the reverse fixture was a 1-0 win for Shelbourne in Shelbourne. This one, though, over in Northern Ireland, with Linfield hoping to get the better of them. I think also going to go with a 2-0 win here, which would be a bit of an upset, seeing Linfield go through, Shelbourne going home at this early stage in the Champions League qualifiers. That is what I've got, guys. Make sure you smash the old subscribe, smash the old little bell as well. We've got non-stop coverage all the way through to the final next May in 2026. But until then, I'll see you soon when we return. We're done.